Go right ahead.
Go ahead, Tanja.
You want me to start? All
Oh,
right.
yes. Look at us.
Good morning.
Everybody.
Good morning and welcome to Building Local Organizations to Support and Sustain OER. My name is Tanja Connerly, and I'm going to allow my colleague and my dear friend, Dr. Smith, to introduce himself.
My name is Nathan Smith. I'm from Houston Community College. I'm the OER coordinator there and instructor of philosophy.
We're going to start our presentation off basically by giving you ideas and hopefully enthusiasm in order for you to create your own OER organization in your community. Our presentation will start off basically discussing about the past, and I will handle that. And then we will go on into the future, and Dr. Smith will be able to give you ideas and motivation and pointers in reference to how to build and sustain your local organization. We're going to start off with the history in reference to Houston OER Consortium. As I said before, my name is Tanja Connerly, and I had the opportunity to be the OER director for San Jacinto College in Houston, Texas, under the Achieve the Dream grant. Under this grant, I literally was a one-man show, and I just said, there is just no way I'm going to be able to do this by myself. I need help, and I knew that. Besides my favorite colleagues that Achieve the Dream, Richard, Sebastian, and all the rest of the gang, they helped me as much as possible, but I knew that I needed local help and encouragement in order to help me through this. So the first call I made was to Ariana at University of Houston Central Campus. And then I made another call to Dr. Smith. From there, we basically collaborated, and it literally took us over a year in reference to connect and to find out exactly who were the key players at our other Houston institutions. It was a lot. When I say it's a lot of calling, it literally was a lot of calling. We had to find the right people. No one really knew about open educational resources, because remember again that even though we're in the back doors of Rice University and OpenStax, no one was really implementing open educational resources as we thought that they should be. So as I said again, we literally just went through the directory of the Houston Galveston area in reference to institutions throughout our area. And we were just fishing and fishing and fishing until we literally found a representative from at least 12 of our institutions at this time. As I said, it literally took a year in order for us to really find and communicate to all of our fellow OER community. And we hosted our first meeting at Houston Community College, and it was a wonderful meeting. In this meeting, we had the opportunity to share information with one another. We all brought all of our goals to the meeting, hoping to again share our knowledge, as well as build a foundation for the Houston Area OER Consortium. Typically, at each one of our meetings, we have a guest speaker to bring more ideas to Houston Area OER Consortium, and we have a presentation from one of our members in reference to best practices. Of course, our meetings continue on till today. We meet every Tuesday of the month from 12 until, I think it's 12 until 1:30. Currently, due to the coronavirus, each one of our meetings are held virtually. We hope to see one another again very soon. As I said before, we have 12 institutions. These 12 institutions that we have in our Houston Area OER Consortium consist of 2-year as well as 4-year institutions. They consist of faculty, staff, and administrators from the following institutions. We have Alvin Community College. We have Lee College. We have Prairie View A&M University, who was the first HBCU to receive the Rice OpenStax what is it, Nathan? What is it? Is it the Rice?
The institutional partnership
Thank
program.
you. Institutional Partnership Program. Thank you, Nathan. My mind just went blank. Of course, we have Rice University. We also have another HBCU, Texas Southern University. We have University of Houston Downtown. Of course, we have Houston Community College, which is led by the late and the great, not the late, but the great Dr. Smith. We have Lone Star College. We have my college, San Jacinto College. We have Texas A&M University, who is one of the, who oversees Prairie View A&M University. We have University of Houston Clear Lake. We have University of Houston Central Campus. And we also have University of Houston, is that, I can't read the, University of St. Thomas, I apologize. We're also partnering with the City of Houston. And the reason that we're doing this is because, again, the City of Houston is connected to other avenues that will allow us to continue to spread open educational resources. At this time, we are currently looking at colleges, but in the near future, we truly hope to partner with K through 12. So we will be still communicating and keeping University of Houston abreast of what's going on. That's the history in reference to OER. Now I would like Dr. Smith to present to you the future of OER.
Thank you so much, Tanja. And I think you all have a good sense of kind of, it took a bit of work to launch a partnership like this in the city of Houston, and basically just a lot of reaching out to folks and getting them interested. And we're just really fortunate that we have such a diverse and large pool of colleges and universities in our area. But, you know, I think if you think about this in terms of your own area, you'd be surprised in your regional or local area how many different institutions you can assemble. And just think broadly about who might be interested in this. I think Jeff makes a good point in the chat about, you know, possibly linking in with K through 12 as well. And I think that's something that we've talked about that is something we have talked about in the consortium. So currently, when we launched in 2018, Tanja and I were co-chairs of the consortium. We set up the meetings, we built the agendas, we contacted everyone. You know, we just kind of ran it informally. But after about a year or so, we decided we needed some more formal structure and wanted to pass on leadership to someone else. And this past year, we elected a president and vice president, John Lane from University of Houston Downtown, who is a technology director there, educational technology director, and Lon Nguyen, who is a librarian at the University of St. Thomas. So yeah, if you're ever in the area or you know anyone in the area who's interested in OER, please reach out to John Lane. We've got an active listserv. We'd love to get you engaged. Okay, Tanja, next one.
I'm trying, won't move.
Gotcha. Okay, up, back. All right, so the one thing we realized is that to have a solid organization, we needed to set up a governance structure. And so that involved drafting bylaws and setting up sort of the key organization of the consortium. Now, the things that we sort of focused on during this period of time were we spent an entire session basically working through workshopping a mission statement. So we've crafted kind of a very succinct kind of mission statement. Tanja and I kind of built the bylaws ourselves, and then we spent, I think, 2 different meeting cycles basically going through the list of the way the bylaws were written, debating various points. The really important things that you want to think about when you're thinking about your bylaws are like, what is your organization about? What are the key components of the organization? We felt the key component of our organization was the regular meetings. So we were having quarterly meetings, and they're on the, what is it, the last Tuesday of the month. I think they go July, October, January, and April, something like that. And so we have a regular meeting schedule. We felt like that was really the core of what the consortium was about. But there's lots of other things that are involved, like electing officers, um, and I'll share with you in a moment that over the last year, we also spent some time thinking about our goals, our institutional goals, each of us as individual institutions, and then thinking about how those goals, how the consortium might help institutions achieve their OER goals. And in that process, we identified a few things that we thought we really needed to do as a consortium. Among those was building a website. And then another thing that I think is we've talked about is like mentoring process, sort of getting institutions that are farther along in their OER development to help institutions that are newer to their OER development. But the way this impacts the bylaws is that initially we just had a president and a vice president, but we realized that with the website and maintenance of the server, we actually needed to start collecting some dues, and so we need to put in place a treasurer and a secretary. So the web presence has kind of been a big project for us in the last few months, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to the website in the chat window here and invite you to go ahead and look. It's a fairly basic website at this stage. We have information about all of our colleges, links out to the colleges, information about key people who are involved in the creation of the website. We have all of our meeting minutes are posted, so they're public. Our bylaws are also posted and public. And then the other things that we are thinking about doing with the website are posting announcements and resources for folks to use. So that's kind of the goal there. Yeah, the logo is really neat. This was actually created by a member, Courtney Morris, who's in the public relations department at San Jacinto College. She has a little bit of graphic design background, and she kind of just got playing around with it and came up with this logo. We really like it as well. Some of the key things, when you're thinking about a website, obviously, design considerations are a big deal, but also, you're going to need to think about hosting. We went with the Bluehost, which offers a hosting service, and then they allow you to use a WordPress platform with for fairly inexpensive, some basic templates to build your website from. So, WordPress is a very user-friendly platform if you're aware of that. So we basically are building it on our own. We haven't outsourced any of this. We have a committee that's basically been putting in their own time just to put the information on the web. Yeah, I think that's about that. Go ahead on to the next one, Tanja. All right, so the big one of the really great things about, I think one of the things we want to highlight, and I'm going to invite Tanja to speak as well on this slide. One of the things we want to highlight in this is that when you build a local organization that has some staying power, so we've been meeting for over 2 years now on a regular basis. We have built connections with people. That enables you to do other things. So the big thing that we are doing this year is we will be hosting a regional, I call it regional, but it's a statewide OER conference. When you do a statewide conference in Texas, it's really regional. I mean, Texas is big. I don't know if you heard, but we're doing a statewide conference on OER. It'll be in March 11th and 12th. We've just sort of got the papers and we're doing reviews right now. It's really exciting. We got a lot of submissions. It's going to be obviously a virtual conference, kind of like everything is these days, but we're really looking forward to that. And it's basically our consortium that made us an attractive location for Digitex, which is our higher education digital consortium, and our Texas State Libraries to reach out to us to host this conference. So I think that's the kind of thing that's really the advantage of building local organizations like this. We've Tanja, do you want to speak to any of these other items on the slide in terms of
I,
who we're connecting?
I will, Dr. Smith, thank you. I think that when you're creating something, a consortium like this, that basically getting the word out is probably the most important thing, and building relationships. So as I said before, not only did we build relationships with the institutions, with our collegiate institutions, I thought that it was very important that we also, since it's Houston area OER, I thought it was very important that we connect to the city of Houston and their education department, to basically be able to market and to let them know what we were planning on doing in reference to bringing OER more open to our city, to our community. So not only did I feel that it was important for the city of Houston, but also our Harris County as well. So we again continue to make them a part of our initiative, bringing them in to what we're doing. As Nathan said before, when he and I started, I think that the reason that this consortium had an opportunity to grow so quickly and advance so quickly is because he and I bring separate talents to the table, where we were all, even though I like to call us Batman and Robin. Of course, he's Batman and I'm Robin, but his talents are amazing. So we always complement one another in reference to what we're able to do. I'm just basically, I come in, I collaborate. Hi, how you doing? And I just pass the baton to him. And so he does something, he passes the baton to me, and we don't have to basically do a lot of conversation, I guess, because we know each other so well in reference to what our talents are. But when you get ready to build something like this, you have to know who your players are and what their talents are. So you can just continue to build, and you're not working in separate entities and working against each other. It's so important that you know that you're all on the same page. So I think that's why it's so important when we come to our meetings, we have our goals for our institutions, basically saying this is what we want to meet. And then we have our goals of the Houston Area OER Consortium. So everything is together. So we're all trying to focus on the same. I saw something in chat, Dr. Smith, I wanted to, and it goes perfectly with this. Quill wanted to know, how do you get a sense of, she said, I would love to get a sense of the kinds of conversations and meetings you had in the beginning and now how they have changed over time. Do you want to answer that?
Sure. I mean, I think it's a great question. So our first year, I think we were like trying to bring in outside speakers. So we had OpenStax present, we had Lumen Learning come in and present, we had the Young Invincibles come and present. And I want to mention them. We have a student at HCC and who then transferred to University of St. Thomas, who became involved in that project. That's a group of students who are dreamers and sort of act and are lobbying the government about sort of student issues, particularly for immigrant students. So they're a really great voice to have in. So we had guest speakers. It was mainly, I would say, the first year was like information sharing and getting to know people. That seemed to be really, and then the second year was when we started goal setting and then building our bylaws and mission statements. So then the meetings become much more workshop focused. They're kind of, we have tasks that we need to get done, and we're working towards those goals. And now then this new phase is we've handed over leadership. And so we've only had I think one meeting that's been run under the new leadership. And I think the meeting style is now reflecting the different leadership. And I think that's a really great thing about an organization, is that, you kind of see different styles. We do have a couple videos, but I don't know if we'll be able to play both of them. Maybe we can play Lon Wynn's video. She's from University of St. Thomas. Hopefully this comes through. So we asked a couple of our members to share their reflections on how open educational resources, how the Houston Area OER Consortium has impacted them. I'm not getting sound, Tanja.
Now, no sound.
No, not getting sound. Is anybody else getting sound? It's kind of a little background. Yeah.
No, you're going to
Okay,
have
so
to
maybe
do the
we don't-
share computer sound thing, which I guess was not a possibility on your
Yeah.
Zoom, Nathan.
Mine was, Tanja's sharing right now, and there was a setting that was not enabled. That's why I didn't share. What I'm
Oh,
going to do then is
Yeah.
I'm going to drop her video in the chat, sort of next best thing here. So this is Lon Wynn from University of St. Thomas. And then I'm also going to give you a link to the director of libraries at Prairie View A&M, Musa Olaka. And he is, his video is also available here. So yeah, so that's, I apologize for that. I think, maybe we're also a little short on time, so maybe this works out okay. Please
Nathan,
open them
if
up.
you-
They're just a minute or two long. Yeah.
Nathan, you could probably share a publicly available version of this on Sched later on if you work with the conference administrators, because this is a SharePoint link and it's not inviting people outside of the organization in.
okay.
Got it. Great.
Perfect.
I'll try to make it public and we'll get that onto the schedule. All right. So any questions, folks? Happy to help, or any thoughts?
Any other questions? I'm going to look in the chat and see if there's any other questions that we can possibly answer. No, okay, cool was the last one. Okay, I have a new message. When is the conference being held? Regina would like to know, Nathan, what are the dates of the conference?
It's March 11th and 12th, 2021.
You just
Let
gonna
me
put
get
that in
you,
the chat?
I'm gonna drop a link to the conference page in the chat.
Okay.
And what I'm
And-
going to do is stop the recording now. The room can keep going for a good 15 minutes. I'm going to make one of you guys the administrators, and yeah, you'll be able to continue the discussion. But for now, I'll just be stopping the recording here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff.